Political analyst and the Dean of Global Futures at Curtin University, our international expert, Joe Siracusa. So, Trumpy, he's not worried about it. I don't think that surprises anyone, Joe.
Good morning, Pete. No, he's not worried about it. I saw the interview. I didn't like it. It was more like a police interview, really. I mean, it was very antagonistic. Pete, while the interview is going on, he's saying that he made the call on the election, which is his call after all. The Reuters poll came out that said that the president and former president and Biden are in a dead heat for 2024. They have 39% each, and they got 10% that are undecided, and that the president is, with all this, he's still, former President Trump is politically viable. I mean, the man just keeps going from strength to strength, despite all the opposition and the adverse kind of interviewing in Washington. I think he was very brave to go on the Meet the Press because he knew that they weren't going to ask him really nice questions, and she was just trying to trap him and that kind of thing. But I think he handled himself pretty well. He showed that he doesn't have a problem, Pete, with age, and he's pretty confident. Right. I'm sort of impressed with his ability to sort of dance around those questions. What's he going to do with Taiwan? What's he going to do with Ukraine? How does he feel about Putin? He was very coy about it, and he was very clever, as a matter of fact. So I think he did very well.
Okay, you know what's interesting, and this broke last week, I want to get your thoughts on anyway, the fact that Hunter Biden's now got these court cases that he's going to have to deal with next year. So you've got court cases that are going to run through both camps next year, Joe. How do you see all that playing out?
Well, I mean, Americans like politics and they like courtroom drama, so they're going to get both of them. Look, this Hunter Biden thing is about to unravel. I mean, let's forget about the gun. I heard this morning one of his supporters saying the gun wasn't loaded. Well, he lied about it. When a hophead buys a gun, you're already going to jail for 1 year, as a matter of fact. We're going to find out that the President Biden, Vice President Biden, was sitting next to his son while his son was engaged in influence peddling. I mean, there's no reason on earth why that guy should have been making $20 million a year, for goodness sake. And we're going to see a lot of things unraveling. And, you see President Biden very discouraged these days. And it seems, Pete, and we all have children, and we have been children to other people. It seems like that Hunter Biden has broken the president's heart. When he says, he hasn't done anything wrong. I mean, it's like a father who knows that his kid has driven the car through the door or through the 7-Eleven store windows. I mean, he knows there's something terrible coming, and I don't think he's going to be able to deal with it. And I think at the end of the day, we'll probably wind up with Kamala Harris, and there's the roll of the dice.
Right, so this gives him an out. I mean, maybe not him an out, or his campaign to really now lean on Joe Biden to say, "Man, I don't think you can deal with this," and a campaign as well.
Yeah, he'll say that he's leaving for personal reasons, and he probably is, as a matter of fact. Look, I feel sorry for Biden because right now I don't think he can handle the job. He's in over his head. And, his advisors keep sending him overseas to talk to people so that he looks vigorous and America looks like it's returned. He hasn't convinced anybody about anything. Joe Biden is a liability. And I think on the issue of age, the economy, and crime, that his campaign has been jeopardized. And there's no way about it. Americans are not better off. They feel like there's crime around the corner. Pete, when you can't park your car and go to a restaurant without getting mugged in major American cities, you're in trouble.
Can Kamala Harris beat Donald Trump?
No, sir. She couldn't beat anybody. I mean, Kamala Harris was sort of a sop to America's political elite. They wanted her on the ticket. She ticked all the right boxes. She comes from a populous state. She's the woman that they wanted. And to tell you the truth, on paper, she looks pretty damn good.
Well, what's interesting, she's Californian, and that's where the bail laws have recently changed. That's where crime's taking off. I mean, geez, I wonder if California could go to the Republicans for the first time, and I don't know when.
Well, yeah, first time in my generation, as a matter of fact. Yeah, she comes from the state of San Francisco, which is in free fall, as a matter of fact. And, if you've ever been to Union Square in San Francisco, you'd hold on to your wallet. No, she's coming from a bad place, and she has She has no particular answers. No, don't get me wrong. The vice president is just supposed to look good and be in the wings to take things
what's
over.
the pitches spit comment again?
Oh, that was one of Franklin Roosevelt's vice presidents, John Nance Garner, said the vice presidency was the equivalent of a pitcher of warm spit.
Yeah.
And so, no one really wants the damn job.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, good to see you, Joe. Thanks for your time as always.